Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Enliven Wellness. My name is Tessa and I'm really happy to be here and I'm feeling awesome. So, are you a vegan or maybe even just a vegetarian and you want to go to raw carnivore? Oh my gosh, like two different ends of the spectrum. Well, here are my top 3 tips on how you can do that a little bit more easily. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video for a couple of bonus tips for those of you going from vegan/vegetarian to raw carnivore, and even if you're just going from keto to raw carnivore. So, first of all, if you have not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you tap the bell button when you do so that you're notified when I go live. And also when a new video comes out, there's awesome information on this channel. It's full of hope and kind of like unconventional, neat health and wellness and spirituality and emotional and psychological. It's very cool. So join our community. It's awesome. And I go live every Tuesday at 6:30 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you're ever interested in consulting with me, email me, tgirly7@gmail.com, say I'm ready. Also check out my website, which is in the description box down below. So let's get to it. Number 1 is to go keto. All right, so the very first step, in my opinion, when you're going from either vegan/vegetarian to raw carnivore or carnivore is to just ease in and start with keto. So you go ketogenic. And essentially the way that you can do this, like just slowly start to add in animal proteins, just very slowly. Make sure that they are the cleanest possible. You know, I'm all about being a conscious carnivore, so make sure you're supporting small farmers and grass-fed pasture-raised farms and, you know, wild-caught fish. Okay, so these kinds of things. The top proteins that tend to be the easiest to add in for vegans and vegetarians are fish, like seafood, and eggs first. Some people just dive right in and do the red meat, but you can start with like seafood and eggs. Now, the basic layout for keto for you is going to be, you know, just make sure that you're eating at, you want to be having about 25 grams or less of carbohydrate per day. Some people say 20. And this is net carbohydrate. So that means that you're taking the total carbohydrate and you're subtracting the fiber. Okay, but in general, if you don't want to be like doing all of that guesswork, I suggest to just stick to above ground vegetables, and per meal, you would have just about this much. Okay, you just kind of scoop up this much, and then you have that per meal. And then you would have around 3 to 5 ounces of protein, and at least like 2 to 3 tablespoons of some kind of fat, depending on how fat like the fish is that you're eating or the beef that you're eating, and if it's eggs. So it gets a little bit more detailed. If you want any more detailed instructions, email me and say I'm ready and we can get this plan laid out for you. But for the purposes of this video, number 1, between going from vegan to vegetarian, go keto. All right? Now, number 2. The step number 2. So now you've gone keto. Well, and here's a couple things about why going keto is beneficial. First, it's going to get you used to animal proteins, and then your body's going to have time to learn how to incorporate these things. Next, it's going to help your gut microbiome transition from vegan to raw carnivore a little bit more easily, in my opinion. However, I mean, I just went from like vegetarian and I started eating animal proteins, and I have clients who have gone from vegan to raw carnivore with no problem. So just know that that's an option. You can just go all the way, but if you want to take it little bit by little bit, go keto first, and it might allow your body and your mind to transition a little bit more easily. Okay? Number 2 would be to do the following. You would only have 1 vegetable meal per day, and the rest of your meals you would have just fat and protein. That is all. Okay? So if you're eating 3 meals a day, you would have a fat and a protein meal, number 1, fat and a protein meal, number 2, and then a vegetable only meal. Now, why? Okay, your stomach acidity matters a lot to your overall health. And when you combine vegetables and protein, you really futz with your stomach acid, and then you futz with your digestion, and it causes all kinds of digestive distress. Check out my video about low stomach acid. I'll link it up above, and it'll explain this a little bit more in detail. So when you eat protein, your stomach is very acidic. That's what it needs to be at. By nature, we need to have a very acidic stomach. Now, when you eat vegetables, your stomach becomes very alkaline. So combining those together can be a really big problem, okay? Now, when you just eat the protein and the fat, you're going to digest that better than if you combine the two. So eat protein and fat at one meal, eat protein and fat at another meal, and eat a vegetable meal alone. If you're like, I still need to hang on to these vegetables, and I still need a little bit more transition, this is the layout for you. And if you'd like, yes, again, more details, hit me up for some consulting. We can get you again on a good plan. So that's step number 2. Number 3 is like the final step, but not quite, if you're like, I'm not quite ready to go raw, but I want to try the carnivore thing, then after you do the protein and fat meal and the vegetable meal step, number 2, then you can just take out veg matter, and then you would just undercook your meat. And it needs to be undercooked below 105 degrees, because it's at 105 degrees that proteins become denatured. And again, I'll link the video up above about why raw meat is better, okay? So be looking for that up above, and it'll explain that a little bit more in detail for you. Now, if you're just ready to go raw carnivore, do it. Some of the advantages of just skipping the undercooking phase is that you're going to digest the protein better, okay? And you're going to feel so much better. Your digestion is going to be on par, poop on par. It's amazing, all right? So these are my top 3 tips, and here's a couple little bonus features for you. This is just in general for when you're getting rid of carbohydrates or veg matter. Number 1 is I always recommend people have something that I like to call ocean water, aka really saline water. And what I do is I get a little 8-ounce jar of water and I put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, some kind of good salt in there, so it's very saline, because a lot of times when you're having these weird symptoms when you're on a ketogenic or a raw carnivore diet, it can be a blood sugar rebalancing, and you might not be having enough fat, or fatty cuts of meat, but it can also be a depletion of minerals. So if you have this little ocean water glass handy and you just take a little sip, if you're feeling you don't need to chug it down, but just tiny little sips, sometimes that can really help with any symptoms. Very cool, all right? And then number 2 is going to be something called humic and fulvic acid, which is in the description box down below. You can order it from that link. Please support this channel by doing so, but this stuff is awesome. Awesome. Love humic and fulvic acid, and amongst the benefits of it, and the reason I'm recommending it for when you do this transition, is because it's going to help you heal a leaky gut, which most vegetarians and vegans have, and that's why you're seeking the raw carnivore/carnivore approach. So this will help you seal that leaky gut. It also will help you uptake nutrients at a higher rate. It's way cool stuff. So make sure you check this out and order it down below. It's great. These are my top 2 bonus tips as to how you can avoid some of the discomfort around transitioning from vegan, vegetarian to raw carnivore. All right, everybody, I hope that you found this video helpful. It was as per viewer request, so thank you. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one to really feel super vital, email me at tgirly7@gmail.com, tgirly7@gmail.com, and say I'm ready. I would love to help you and get you to feel vital again. It's my passion and my calling, and you deserve to feel good. So if you're looking for guidance, reach out. And thank you to my whole family of Enliveners. You guys are the best. I love you, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day or night. Okay, bye.